Today is the second day of the Alex-Murdaugh double murder trial. The former high-powered attorney is accused of killing his wife and his youngest son. Now, a pool of more than 900 potential jurors being considered, and the questioning process has been intense to say the least. Our own Rachel Ripp has been inside the courtroom all morning, joins us now for a quick update on what you are hearing in that Walterboro courtroom. What have you heard so far this morning, Rachel?
Andrea, that's exactly right. I got access to the courtroom today for the jury selection portion. Now, I sat in the bench that was actually behind the bench reserved for the Murdaugh family. No one came in and sat at that bench, but there were several potential jurors being questioned in this process. Now, according to a lawyer that works closely with Dick Harpootlian, he represents the defense. He told me that the court will likely proceed with rulings on motions later this afternoon after the jury selection process. Now, inside the courtroom today, there were over 50 people who had heard about the Murdaugh case. 10 had not. In that group, there were over 15 who already made a decision about his guilt or innocence. 4 said they could be fair and make a decision solely based on the evidence and facts of the case. Now, Julie Brown, she was a visitor from the Midwest. She tells me she listens to the Murdaugh Murder podcast and has been following along this case. She just happened to be passing through Walterboro last night on her way to Georgia.
What's interesting to me is how do you get a jury of your peers when you're already at such a high level in the community? So what does a jury of your peers actually mean? And how many families, local families, have been affected by him and his family? And so how does that all fit together? It seems really complicated to me. I wouldn't want to have to pick a jury.
Now, something interesting to note in the courtroom as well, right before I left to come out here, they were talking a little bit about the relationship between these potential jurors and the Murdaugh family, or the potential witnesses and these jurors. So there was one person who spoke about how her sons knew the surviving son, Buster. There was another person who referenced that he was at a Christmas party with the Murdaugh family. Another person referenced that they were a 7th or 8th cousin of the Murdaugh family. Reporting live now from Walterboro, I'm Rachel Ripp, News 19 WLTX.
Wow, certainly incredible to hear all the connections, but that's exactly what we expected in such a small town. I got to ask again, because you are our eyes and ears for our viewers, so you're saying you sat in what was reserved to be the Murdaugh family pew and there wasn't any family members that came?
No, so it was the row behind that row reserved for the Murdaugh family. So there was no one that actually showed up during the time that I was there for the jury selection, but they had told me to move because I was originally in that row. And the security guard came up to me, told me to move to the row behind that one because it was reserved for the Murdaugh family.
Wow, very interesting. All right, we'll let you get back in the courtroom. Thank you so much, Rachel.